Introduction to HTML. HTML, Hypertext Markup Language, is a fundamental language for web development, defining the structure and meaning of web content. It consists of elements that structure text, create links, and embed multimedia. HTML elements are enclosed in tags like opening tag, content and closing tag, where tags define the type of content displayed. Browsers interpret HTML to display web pages correctly, with elements like headings, paragraphs, images, and links. HTML has evolved over the years, with the latest standard being HTML5, offering improved features for web development. It is essential for creating websites and understanding web programming basics. The definition of HTML. HTML, Hypertext Markup Language, is the standard markup language for creating and structuring documents to be displayed in web browsers. Initial release in the year 1993. Latest standard, HTML5. Key elements, input, etc. Assisting technologies, CSS. And maintained by World Wide Web Consortium, W3C. This is the example of HTML page structure. Doctype HTML element tells version of HTML. HTML tag is the root element. Head tag used to contain HTML page metadata. Title tag shows title of HTML page. Body tag hold content of HTML page. H2 tag shows an example of heading tag. P tag is used for paragraph content. At last, closing body tag and closing HTML tag. History of HTML. HTML, Hypertext Markup Language, was invented by Tim Berners-Lee in 1991 while working at CERN. The first publicly available description of HTML was a document called HTML Tags, which described 18 elements comprising the initial, relatively simple design of HTML. The first version of HTML, HTML 1.0, was released in 1993 and provided basic structural elements and allowed for the inclusion of hyperlinks. HTML 2.0 was released in 1995, expanding the range of supported elements and introducing tables for tabular data. HTML 3.2, released in 1997, brought further enhancements to tables, introduced forms for user input, and provided support for basic style sheets. HTML 4.01, released in 1999, introduced cascading style sheets, CSS, for improved control over page styling and enhanced support for scripting and multimedia elements. In 2000, XHTML, Extensible Hypertext Markup Language, was introduced, which aimed to combine HTML with the stricter rules and extensibility of XML. HTML5, released in 2014, marked a significant milestone in web development. It introduced a wide range of new elements and attributes, improved multimedia support, and provided better compatibility with mobile devices. HTML has continuously evolved over the years, with each new version introducing new features and capabilities to meet the growing demands of web development. The latest version, HTML5, is the most widely used and supported version of HTML today. HTML tags. HTML tags are keywords used to define how web browsers should format and display the content of a web page. Here are the key points about HTML tags. HTML tags are enclosed in angle brackets. Most tags come in pairs, an opening tag, and a closing tag. There are over 100 HTML tags, but some of the most common ones include HTML, head, and body to define the structure of the page. H1 to H6 for headings. P for paragraphs. A for link. In for images. OL and OL for lists. Table, TR, and TD for tables. Some tags are self-closing and don't require a separate closing tag, like BR for line breaks and HR for horizontal rules. HTML tags define the semantics and structure of the page content. HTML tags define the semantics and structure of the page content. Attributes can be added inside opening tags to provide additional information. Web browsers read HTML from top to bottom and left to right, interpreting the tags to render the page content. In summary, HTML tags are the building blocks used to create web pages with structure, formatting, links, images, and more. Understanding how to use them is essential for web development. To create lists in HTML, you can use three main types: unordered lists, ordered lists, and description lists. Here is a brief overview based on the provided sources. Unordered list, bulleted list. An unordered list in HTML is used to display a list of items without a specific order or sequence. It is marked with bullets and starts with the OL tag and ends with OL. To create an unordered list, each item is enclosed within li tags. Ordered list, numbered list. An ordered list in HTML is used to display a list of items in a specific order, marked with numbers by default. It starts with the OL tag and ends with OL. Each item in the list is defined using li tags. Description list. HTML also supports description lists, where each item consists of a term defined using DT tag and a description defined using DD tag. This type of list is suitable for presenting glossaries, lists of terms, or name-value pairs. In summary, to create lists in HTML, you can choose between unordered lists for items without a specific order, ordered lists for items in a specific sequence, and description lists for term description pairs. Each type of list has specific tags and attributes to structure and present information effectively. HTML basic tags include HTML tag, head tag, body tag, paragraph tag, heading tags, anchor tag, list tags, form tag, table tag, etc. List of HTML tags include following elements. Example of basic HTML tags with tag name, opening tag and closing tag. Here are some examples of tags with their description. Example of HTML lists, unordered list and ordered list. Example of description tag. Example of table tag. is the purpose of HTML tags. HTML tags serve as the fundamental building blocks of a web page, providing instructions to web browsers on how to format and display content. These tags are enclosed in angle brackets and consist of opening and closing tags, with the opening tag marking the beginning of a section of content and the closing tag indicating its end. Tags define the structure and semantics of web content, allowing for the creation of structured documents with elements like headings, paragraphs, lists, links, images, and more. By using HTML tags, users can differentiate between HTML content and regular text, ensuring proper rendering and presentation of web pages. Documents. HTML, Hypertext Markup Language, is the standard markup language used to create documents that are designed to be displayed in a web browser. It defines the content and structure of web content and is often assisted by technologies such as cascading style sheets, CSS, and scripting languages like JavaScript. Structure and content. HTML documents are composed of elements, which are the building blocks of HTML pages. These elements are delineated by tags, written using angle brackets, and can directly introduce content into the page or surround and provide information about document text. HTML provides a means to create structured documents by denoting structural semantics for text such as headings, paragraphs, lists, links, quotes, and other items. Semantic language. HTML was originally conceived as a semantic language devoid of presentation details, but practical uses pushed many presentational elements and attributes into the language. The latest standards surrounding HTML reflect efforts to overcome the sometimes chaotic development of the language and to create a rational foundation for building both meaningful and well-presented documents. Variations and delivery. There are two axes differentiating various variations of HTML, SGML-based HTML versus XML-based HTML, referred to as XHTML, and strict versus transitional, loose versus frameset. HTML documents can be delivered by the same means as any other computer file, but they are most often delivered either by HTTP from a web server or by email. Document object. When an HTML document is loaded into a web browser, it becomes a document object, which is the root node of the HTML document and a property of the window object. The document object is accessed with window.document or just document, and it has various properties and methods that can be used on HTML documents, such as active element, add event listener, adopt node, and many others. Basic examples. Basic HTML examples include starting with a document type declaration. Doctype HTML defining the HTML document itself with opening HTML tag and closing HTML tag, and using tags like H1 to H6 for headings, P for paragraphs, A for links, and IND for images. Attributes are used to provide additional information about HTML elements, and the ref attribute is used to specify the destination of a link. Viewing HTML source. To view the HTML source code of a page, one can click Ctrl+U in an HTML page or right-click on the page and select View Page Source. This will open a new tab containing the HTML source code of the page. Additionally, one can inspect an HTML element by right-clicking on it and choosing Inspect to see what elements are made up of, both HTML and CSS. The header element in HTML is used to represent introductory content, typically a group of introductory or navigational aids. It may contain some heading elements but also a logo, a search form, an author name, and other elements. The header element has an identical meaning to the site-wide banner landmark role, unless nested within sectioning content. Then, the header element is not a landmark. In terms of usage, the header element can define a global site header, described as a banner in the accessibility tree. It usually includes a logo, company name, search feature, and possibly the global navigation or a slogan. It is generally located at the top of the page. Otherwise, it is a section in the accessibility tree, and usually contains the surrounding section's heading, an H1, H6 element, and optional subheading, but this is not required. Historically, the header element originally existed at the very beginning of HTML for headings. It is seen in the very first website. At some point, headings became H1 through H6, allowing header to be free to fill a different role. The header element only includes the global attributes, and its permitted content is flow content, but with no header or footer descendant. The tag omission is none. Both the starting and ending tag are mandatory. Permitted parents are any element that accepts flow content. Note that a header element must not be a descendant of an address, footer, or another header element. The term body section in the context of HTML refers to the main content section of a web page that users see when the page loads. It encompasses various elements such as text, hyperlinks, images, special characters, lists, tables, frames, and forms. The HTML body section is a crucial and powerful part of a web page, responsible for displaying its content effectively. It is enclosed within the body tag in HTML and can be customized using attributes like bgcolor to change the background color. This section plays a vital role in structuring and presenting the visible content of a web page to users. HTML headings play a crucial role in structuring web content and aiding in both user experience and search engine optimization. In HTML, headings are defined using H1 to H6 tags, with H1 being the most important and H6 the least important heading. These headings create a visual hierarchy on a web page, with H1 typically used for main headings followed by H2, H3, and so on for subheadings. It is essential to follow the proper hierarchy of headings, avoiding skipping levels and overusing H1 tags. Search engines utilize HTML headings to index the structure and content of web pages, while users often navigate pages by skimming through headings, emphasizing the importance of using headings to display the document's structure. Additionally, headings should be used solely for headings and not for styling text to be bold or big. Properly structured headings enhance readability, aid in SEO, and highlight important topics on a web page. In terms of accessibility, it is recommended to avoid skipping heading levels and to nest headings appropriately to reflect the content's organization, ensuring a clear and logical hierarchy for users, especially those using screen readers for navigation. By maintaining a consistent and logical structure with HTML headings, websites can improve both user experience and search engine visibility. Characters. HTML provides several tags for formatting characters and text, bold and strong text. Use the B tag to make text bold. Use the strong tag to make text bold and indicate semantic importance. Italic and emphasized text. Use the I tag to italicize text. Use the M tag to italicize text and indicate emphasis. Other formatting tags. Small renders text in a smaller font size. Ins highlights added or inserted text. Sub creates subscript text. Sub formats text as superscript. Mark accentuates text with a background highlight. Del strikes through text to signify deletion. Character entities. Use character entities to display reserved characters like and etc. For example, and LT displays, and GT displays, and AMP displays and. The non-breaking space and NBSP prevents a line break between words. In summary, HTML provides a variety of tags to format text and characters, including bold, italic, subscript, superscript, and special characters. The B, I, sub tags control the visual appearance, while strong, M convey semantic meaning. The HTML font tag is used to define the font style for text in an HTML document. It allows you to specify the font size, color, and typeface of the text. However, the font tag is now deprecated in HTML5 and should no longer be used. Instead, you should use CSS process properties like font family, font size, and color to style text. Some key points about the font tag. It is used inside the body tag to format text. Attributes include size 1 to 7 or plus dash, color named or hex, and face, separated font names. It is supported by major browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Edge, and Opera. The font tag is obsolete in HTML5 and should be replaced with CSS. In summary, while the font tag was previously used to style text in HTML, it is now deprecated. Modern web development practices recommend using CSS for all text formatting and styling. Example of HTML text formatting tag with purpose. Example of font tag in HTML. This is the examples of various heading tags in HTML. Anchor tag. The anchor tag in HTML, denoted by A, is crucial for creating hyperlinks on web pages. It is used to link a source anchor, text, image, or button to a destination anchor, another resource. The anchor tag must have both opening and closing tags, with the content between them forming the anchor source. You can use the ref attribute within the anchor tag to specify the target or destination for the link, typically a URL. It is essential to understand how to use anchor elements effectively to create well-structured and user-friendly websites. Nested anchor tags, where one anchor tag is placed inside another, are not allowed in HTML. Browsers enforce this restriction by implicitly terminating the open element before starting a new one when nested anchor tags are encountered. While nested links could theoretically be implemented to have different behaviors for clicking on inner and outer links, HTML specifications prohibit this to simplify coding practices. Dear viewers, if you feel this video little bit informative and helpful, then please subscribe and like the channel, because your like and subscribe will motivate the creator to create more such informative videos. Thank you.